feet of the chamber on him. And how do you do that? 4 to 6 seconds, point A to point B, everything you got. Everything you got. Turn that shit up. Let's go.
Welcome to Scoop World Order. It is Sunday night, and all of our opponents are big mad because, wow, what a shocker. What a day. Justin Scott has dived into the boat. Dylan Stewart is coming next. So we have a 10-star Sunday, fireworks galore. Larry Johnson might as well be shooting nuclear bombs off at this point because, wow. If he gets Edgercuson, it's the best defensive line class in the history of Ohio State football. This is trending towards, I'm telling you, we get KJ Bolden. This might be the best class in Ohio State football history. Wow. What an amazing Sunday. What a great 4th of July present. I hope you guys took tomorrow off because it's about to be lit. We're super excited about this. We're going to break down Justin Scott. We're going to break down Dylan Stewart on the show. I'm flying solo. My compadres are crisscrossing the skies right now on vacation. So I had to jump on here with all you fine folks because I know that it is crazy right now and people are really excited. And it is just one of those things that you just say. I mean, no one saw Justin Scott coming this quick, and it happened, and happy 4th of July. So with that being said, as always, we appreciate you guys. Sunday night, you guys kicking it with us. We appreciate you as always. Limited sports on right now. It's kind of just baseball season. So we're trying to bring the heat for you guys. It's kind of the slow season. We were digging for some summer conditioning stuff. We got some good information coming this week on BuckeyeScoop.com. But these commitments are just out of this world good. I am a huge fan of getting monster defensive linemen because I know the kind of impact they make in the trenches. So shout out to Larry Johnson for killing the game, just wrecking shop right now, making a lot of people mad because some of these guys we got are really, really nasty. So we're going to start off with Justin Scott, who's a guy, again, I just don't know how to describe him other than just a pure wrecking ball. 5-star, was projected to Georgia, Bama, Notre Dame, a lot of schools. Picks Ohio State today, just a massive get for the program. Again, a lot of people were questioning our defensive tackle recruiting for next year. No longer. This kid is an absolute monster. He's a kid that you guys are going to want to get to know. You guys are going to love watching him. I'm going to toss this on. I'm going to get right into his highlights. I'm going to break down a little bit of his tape tonight because I know that you guys love when we do these little film breakdowns. A lot of you guys that aren't familiar with him, get ready because it is going to be special watching this kid play. This is a guy that'll play early. He'll play as a freshman. Plays both ways in high school. St. Ignatius out of Chicago, really good program. But yeah, we're gonna break this kid down. Here he is, playing 3 technique. Here he is, outside shoulder right here. You watch this tape and you can see the speed, the redirection. Again, like this doesn't seem like much, but the effort, the toughness, he's got it all, and he plays really well at guard as well. In their program, but. Big explosive guy, 6'5", 315 as a senior in high school, which is scary. Looks like he's 280, which is crazy when he's this light. Here he is, stand-up defensive end, 310. And this is an absolute nightmare. This is one of the ones where if you're this running back, you're like, Coach, why are you doing this to me? You've got you're running like a little sweep action over here right into him, and it's he's the read, and it's a bad guy to read when he's a 5-star superstar tackle. So for most of these highlights, I've watched him at guard on offense. I think he'd be a phenomenal offensive guard. He obviously wants to be a defensive tackle in in college. He can do whatever he wants to do in college. But you watch the brute strength. Again, this isn't exactly a Big Ten guard here that he's murdering, but this guy gets after it. I mean, we're just gonna let it run for a little bit so you guys can watch it, but. He gets after this poor guard here, and it's curtains. Again, he's explosive. He's big. The redirection is there. Again, like there's just not many guys like this on the planet that are these 6'5", 310 guys that are explosive. There's a lot of guys that are 6'5", 310 on earth, but they're not twitched up and explosive like this kid is. Justin Scott's a special dude. I mean, here you see him down in his stance. He's got that really good angular build, and when he touches guys, it's like they get shot with a cannonball. They go straight backwards, and he's just fun to watch. I've watched his film a few times before I jumped on here, just so I was pretty tuned into his game. But you see the effort. That's the big thing with big guys is you worry about the effort. This kid's motor never stops, and it's just so fun to watch. Here he is playing guard. Honestly, I love that he plays both ways. Like these big guys that play both ways. I did that in high school. It's kind of a lost art anymore where kids think they can only play one way. But he plays really well at offensive guard. And if I'm Justin Fry, I'm probably fist fighting Larry Johnson to put him in as my left tackle. But, again, this kid, he's going to want to be a D tackle in college, obviously. And he's got all the tools to duel it. But yeah, he's a special player. He's like one of those rare guys that he'll play early and often. And, if Mike Hall has that big year and he's a 3-and-out guy and he goes to the league, then you can slide this kid right in here. I can't imagine he wouldn't be in the top 4 the second he gets to campus just because of his natural ability. His upside is tremendous. And again, we don't get a lot of big D tackles like this out of the North. Most of these kids are down in Georgia, LSU, Florida, Texas. So to get a kid like this out of Chicago is just absolutely huge. Again, here they got him standing up again. This is a rare thing for a guy to be 6'5", 315 and a stand-up end chasing down the backside of a run. Again, that's rare ability. That's rare effort. His hands, again, he splits the double team here. The effort to pursue, a lot of guys, they get double teamed and they just kind of shut it down. This kid doesn't, man. He gets double teamed and he wants to break the double team. He wants to go make the play. Here he is in pursuit again. Again, so the effort thing, it's part just how you're coached, your mentality. It's also, your conditioning and your physical fitness. So this guy's in great shape. I mean, he does not give up on plays that are away from him. Doesn't give up in pursuit. Here he is again playing defensive end. Again, I love the run stopping ability. That's something that I think is really special. We'll run through this one more time, but yeah, it's in the comments. How excited are you about this, guys? I mean, 5-star D end and a 5-star D tackle in 2 days. Dylan Stewart is coming to Ohio State. We're super excited about that. That is a real one. So you get Dylan Stewart, you get Marquise Lightfoot, you get Edric Houston, you get Justin Scott. This is the best defensive line class in Ohio State history. I don't even think it's close. I'm not even sure what you compare it to when you have 3 5-stars and a high 4-star as your kind of your guys that are your linchpins of the class. And the key is getting that 5-star D tackle, especially in the North. It's a lot harder to get than in the South. Like if you're at LSU, Georgia, you get those guys that are right in your backyard. But to get them to come to Ohio State, it's really tough. I mean, a lot of times you're getting kind of those 4-star guys, maybe a high 3-star, and you just got to kind of stock them up. And you're kind of at the mercy of what is in the backyard of Ohio when you're looking at who you're going to get and add to the fold. The Mike Hall's a 5-star all day, every day, but he's an Ohio kid, and he gets graded down a little bit because he's not from Georgia, he's not from Florida. But you look at his talent, his ability, he's a 5-star all day, every day. Ty Leak, probably a high 4-star-ish type kid, probably an underrated kid when he was coming out. But that's on Larry Johnson to not just evaluate those kids when they're in high school, but also to develop them into being guys that exceed their recruiting rankings. So. But yeah, I love this kid. Again, I love watching him. See, you watch this guy play offensive guard, and it's like if you're Justin Fry, how are you not fist fighting for this guy to be your starting left tackle, left guard? And again, there's a lot of kids. I've seen them. I've coached them. When you ask them to play guard, they don't put in that kind of effort. They're just burying guys, mauling guys. So I love that about this kid. He is a willing two-way player. He's not a guy that just takes plays off on offense and kind of goes, kind of half sauced. He doesn't go, this guy goes hard every play. And it's exceptional. Again, I just like evaluating the movement skills, the explosion. Explosion is something that is genetic. You can do all the bench press, hang cleans, squats that you can, but to have that natural snap, that natural explosion, that's a genetic thing, especially with big guys. And he's got it. So again, these are the kind of guys you win championships with. These are the kind of guys you beat Georgia and Bama with, let alone Michigan. When they've got those big guards and they're coming off the rock, these are the kind of guys you need to maul their interior offensive line and knock those guys back when they run their zone scheme. So again, I'm super excited about this kid. I love big, strong interior linemen. And this guy is an absolute home run. So I'm going to switch over to Dylan Stewart. Dylan Stewart, we're going to get Dylan Stewart too. I mean, this is as good of a 4th of July gift as you could ever get. I'm so happy for the members of BuckeyeScoop.com because we broke the Dylan Stewart deal. it's just we're just cranking right now. It's been a good run. Let me get Dylan loaded up. It's funny because this looks like this is like a spring ball game. I remember watching this film. I've watched this film a million times, but it looks like he's in a it's like he's in like an arena football arena. But not all film is created equal. But this kid can run. He's angular. This is the kind of guy that's that Javon Curse monstrous defensive end off the edge, pure pass rusher, pure get to the quarterback, pure make the rest of the defense better, which is something that, again, when you look at our biggest issues here, this is a good shot right here. This is good, clean film. You look at the bursts. I mean, he's there. I mean, this is a 1 second throw, and he's pressuring the quarterback. So I mean, when you have this kind of acceleration, and this is a catch it and throw it, and he's literally disrupting the throw because he's that twitched up, he's that quick. These are the kind of guys we need, and I'm telling you, like when you look at our defense last year, I thought our biggest issues, safety play was subpar, but our pressure from our down four guys wasn't where it needed to be. It was an Ohio State standard. And that holds the rest of the defense back. So you need to get these pressure guys like Justin Scott, like Dylan Stewart, to get cranked up, to get ramped up, to get just cooking. Because when you get these guys going, man, it makes the cornerbacks better. It makes the quarterbacks a lot more confident. They can jump shorter passes. If you've got werewolves at defensive end and defensive tackle, the quarterback can't hold the ball for very long. And they have to break the routes off. They have to run shorter patterns. They can't do 7-step drops because the tackles aren't going to be able to block all these guys. That's like we get Edric Houston, it's going to be curtains. It's going to be game over. When you mix them with Dylan Stewart, you mix them with Justin Scott, Marquise Lightfoot. I mean, you're going to have guys that can just clean win one-on-one pass rush battles, and that's something that I think we'll be better at this year. I think that we didn't use Jack Sawyer correctly. I thought JT Tumalal was very inconsistent. I've watched every snap he played last year. He's a guy that has immense talent. He's a guy that's miserable to go against, but he needs to get more slippery. He needs to get off blocks better, and he needs to close that gap. And I think that him and Jack they've worked hard to get more flexible. They've worked hard to, because I think that their technique's good. I just think that they need that last little umph because a lot of sacks are a split second away from either the ball getting out or it being a sack and a catastrophe. So every little millisecond adds up when you're pursuing the quarterback. And kids like this are the kind of guys you got to get because you watch this kid get off the ball, and these tackles are living in misery right now. And then you watch them dip under there. And again, this is a Javon Curse. This is a pure speed guy. Again, he's pursuing down the back line. Closes quick. Like I love watching guys play the run. Because for one, you got to see if they have any interest in playing the run. Because some guys don't. Some guys are soft. This kid is not soft. And you love seeing that burst off the edge because that's something that teams have to account for. When you have two superstar, like this changes everything. Like when you see this little frame right here where he's got the tackle's dead, and he gets around this edge right here and he bends it, and when you see this as a tackle, it's misery, and he's going after that ball. And again, that is the key to great defense is conflict. It's creating turnovers. He goes after that ball. Ball's up in the air. Hand is not going forward. I mean, that's the kind of play that changes everything. Is when you pull off something like that because you can't account for just a random turnover. And when a kid like this can create a turnover like that. The sideline is electrified on the Ohio Stadium sideline, the home sideline, and the away team is like, oh God, we just gave the ball up. We were driving they're down to the 35-yard line, and you get that sack fumble, man. It changes everything. And so I'm just super excited. I mean, big time edge rusher, big time 3 technique. We get Edric Houston, man. It is going to be curtains for offensive lines we go against, and I'm super excited about Edric because he's coming too. So, we're going to have a 15-star start to the defensive line class. Marquise Lightfoot, another really good edge rusher. Tall, angular kid, 6'5", about 220. So I'm just super excited about what these guys are doing. Again, kudos to Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson took a lot of flack last year. We missed on Mateo Uyunglele. We missed on Keon Keeley. Didn't get the finish that we quite wanted, but he has come back like the Grim Reaper this year, because the Grim Reaper takes what he wants, and that's what Larry Johnson's doing right now. And I'm super excited for him because it couldn't happen to a better guy, couldn't happen to a better technician, a better position coach, a guy that, people like Nick and Joey Bosa swear by, Chase Young swears by. So it's just great stuff. And again, like for these commitments to pop, on a holiday weekend, what an amazing feeling for these coaches. These coaches are all on vacation right now. They get their 3 weeks off before they start the grind of training camp up. So I can't imagine how good they're feeling knowing that they just committed. They just got two of the best players in the country to commit to Ohio State. So any questions, guys, as we run through this? Yeah, Dylan Stewart is just good. We got a ton of you guys in here tonight. Any questions for us, homies, as we're grinding along on Sunday night? I hope you guys are having a great 4th of July weekend. I agree. I think some of it was NIL. I think honestly the NIL thing we've just kind of shorted up. I don't think it's all NIL. I think a lot of it's Larry Johnson. I don't want to denigrate what Larry Johnson's done by just saying it's just straight these kids chasing the bag. I think these kids are chasing the Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa bag, where it's $40 million a year over 6 years. Like, that's the real bag. It's not the short-term NIL money. It's not the short-term $100,000, $200,000, million, or whatever it is. I think that these guys are starting to see, look, we put in that work with LJ. I mean, JT Tuimoloau is likely a 3-and-out first-round pick next year. Mike Hall could be a 3-and-out first-round pick next year. Jack Sawyer, top couple rounds. If he has a big year, gets out of that funky jack position that was completely worthless. They put his hand in the ground. He's lighter. He's quicker. I think everyone's going to be focused on stopping JT. Jack Sawyer can eat. We could have 3 guys leave early on the D-line next year. And Ty Lee could as well. I mean, we could have 4 guys leave early. So it sounds crazy. I know people are like, there's no way Ty Lee will leave. No, like Mike Hall played 20 plays a game, but it only takes one big year when you're a defensive lineman to go pro. And the things I'm hearing about Mike Hall are terrifying right now. So, I mean, Mike Hall is he's like Mike Tyson right now in the weight room. He puts in a lot of extra work. He's got that mentality. He's a dog. He's tough. He loves getting in fights in practice, and he's a tone setter. So, again, could it happen? Sure. But you guys seen Mike Hall at his best. When he played Notre Dame, people thought he was going to be a first-team All-American, and, and it was going to be the next Aaron Donald. And he got a little dinged up, and I think he's got that kind of upside. And you throw JT and Jack Sawyer in there. I mean, it's our front 6 is as good as there is in the country. I won't trade it for Georgia's or Bama's or anybody else in the country, because we got some dudes, and these guys they're hungry. They're guys that want to play in the league. They're guys that want to get drafted high. So you get Tommy Eichenberg, Steel Chambers, Mike, Ty League, Ty Hamilton, JT Tuimoloau, Jack Sawyer. Then you got the young guys. You got Kenyatta Jackson. You got Caden Curry. You got these guys that are, they want to secure their spots. Because, I mean, if I see Dylan Stewart committing against some of these guys and Edric Houston, man, if I'm Caden Curry and Kenyatta Jackson, I'm eating my Wheaties every single day because those guys are coming, and that's like, it's like having Usain Bolt chasing you down for a spot. Yeah, and I appreciate you, Brass X. Yeah, because Aaron Scott, I think, is done. I think he's a Buckeye. I think that's over. I think you're not gonna, if your dad's a diehard Buckeye fan, you're not gonna come in on his birthday to kick him in the balls and go to Michigan. I mean, just in my opinion, unless you're just trying to be cruel or you're trying to be like a WWF heel, and just jackknife powerbomb your dad through his birthday cake on his birthday. I think Aaron Scott's done. I think KJ Bolden's about an 8. We had Bill the Bank Green is really tight with the KJ Bolden crew. Done a lot of work on that one. We know that he loves Ohio State. We know that it's, Buford kids they're not glued to going to Georgia. Again, that's a tough one for me because, if you're the Georgia Bulldogs and you've won 2 straight national championships and Buford, Georgia is an absolute powerhouse of a school, how do you let potentially 2 kids from Buford, in Edric Houston and KJ Bolden head north, especially now that Dylan Raiola is going to be their starting quarterback. But I just think that these kids, they got to make their own paths. Obviously Perry Eliano is KJ's cousin. So, I've seen crazier stuff happen. I think that there's a void in that secondary. I think these kids are really obsessed with depth chart first, NIL second, third, or fourth. Position fit, scheme fit. I think that's a big thing that Ohio State really benefits from is that 4-2-5, that 4 down line front. Kids want to play in that 4 down look. They want to play in that 4 down. They don't want to play in that 3 down mint package that Georgia and Bama runs a lot, where there's a little bit kind of an odd look and that stand up buck like weak side linebacker. I think that it turns kids off. I think kids want to be in that 4 down look where they can rush the passer like Nick Bosa, like Myles Garrett, like the guys that they look up to on TV that make $50 million a year to rush the passer. I know Myles doesn't quite make that, but Myles Garrett's probably making $35-40 million a year, and that's what all these kids want to kind of aspire to be. What's some of the questions you guys got? Appreciate you guys. What's up, Mello? Brass tacks. Get the homies in here. We got such a good crew in here tonight. We got a ton of people in here tonight. We're over 400, 416. Appreciate you guys all tuning in Sunday night. But I agree. Like I think that if my I would take. I don't know if they'll take Elias Rudolph. He's the guy that I thought would be in. The funny thing is, we're leaving some really good defensive ends at the altar with all this going on. I mean, that's the crazy thing is we've got some Booker Pickett's a guy that I watched his film and he looks fantastic, and there's not room at the end. If you get all the 5 stars you want, then the 4 stars got to go elsewhere, and it's crazy. But again, I think that I mean, brass tacks. If this happens, it'll break the Ohio State internet. It'll break BuckeyeScoop.com, the #1 Ohio State message board there is. It'll be broken. If we get Brandon Baker from Outer Day, to cap all these other guys, it's broken. It's over. It's a wrap. But I think Kingston is in. I do. I do. I think Kingston. I mean, he's wearing the gloves. Like, I know that the people at the Woody feel very good about Kingston right now. So I think he's in. I mean, I think he's a guy that James Laurinaitis has just done yeoman's work there, and I think you throw him in the boat. I mean, you put a gun to my head, he's coming to Ohio State. Which kid from Georgia? Starting to take some questions from here. I like the Michigan guys. Well, those 5 stars didn't help you the last 2 years. Well, they'll help us in the future. You guys got lucky for a couple of years, but it's fine. I don't know. I think we get Stewart in Houston. I'm not sure when Stewart's going. Not sure when Houston's going, but they're both in the book. And I think that, we're going to get some big time reinforcements up front. Yeah, I think Mills is. I think he's a good recruiter. I don't know if he's great. Again, like part of it is like with coaches, you have to balance between being great recruiter. There's very few guys that are great recruiters, great coaches like Brian Hartland, like James Laurinaitis. Some of the older guys just aren't great recruiters because they're not as big of. They're not homies with the players. They don't understand like kind of where kids are at mindset wise, how to relate to kids. It's tough for older guys. I've seen it when I was a graduate assistant in 2012. I was a great recruiter. I mean, I knew the kids, everything they like to do, their favorite video games, they like to play, what team they picked on 2K. I knew it all just because that was kind of like easy mode for me, just to kind of make the conversations nice and lighter. When Taylor Decker committed, I was like, yeah, you can go home, play Call of Duty now and just chill and be the hometown hero. And he was like so excited to do that after he decommitted from Notre Dame and flipped to Ohio State. So I think that it just comes down to the personalities and what these guys like to do. Oh man, yeah, we got a ton of good stuff going on right now. Wow, I can't believe it. Again, who do you guys want the most between? Yeah, I don't see. I think it's funny because when you're LJ, I've talked to LJ. I love LJ. Every time I see LJ, I tell him how much I like him because when he was at Penn State, his D lines were always the best guys we went against. They always played hard. They were always coached well. I don't think he's ready to retire. I mean, he's making like $800,000 a year, and for a lot of these guys, if they coach for 40 years, the first 25 years, they were making pinto beans. And then like the last 5, 10, 15 years, they're making 4, 5, 6X what they used to make. So, if you love what you're doing, you're in a good spot. Like LJ gets to control. He has carte blanche in his D-line room, his D-line recruiting. It's kind of a fun place to be at. Like if you're just a position coach, you make a crap ton of money and you like the kids you're coaching and you're coaching at Ohio State. Like it's a lot different if you're coaching at Purdue or, Akron or whatever, and you're getting waxed every week. But when you're at Ohio State, you're favored in every game. You have better players in every team. You're going to win a lot. So the stress is minimal. Obviously, when you're at Ohio State, you have to win every game, which is tough. But, it's not like you're at Kentucky and you have to go play Bama and Georgia and LSU and Florida and Texas A&M and Texas and Oklahoma. Like when you're at Ohio State, like you're the big dog. So it's fun to be the big dog. I think LJ's got 4 or 5 years left, and I might be crazy, but Joe Paterno coached forever. And I think LJ, when he's got this momentum going and he's got these great kids coming in, it's a nice fountain of youth if you're a position coach when you're getting all of these 5-star players in, because your job is just so much easier. Like if you said, Kirk, you need to go coach in the NBA and you could pick, the 10 players that you want on your expansion team. And I could say, okay, I want, Victor Wembanyama and Giannis and Steph Curry and LeBron and, whoever. And I have a team of basically the best players. Like that's a lot easier to do than a regular expansion team where you're starting from the mud and you're getting like the worst players on the bottom of the roster. So that's where LJ is. Like his room is built. He's got great kids. They work hard. There's a good culture in that room. Ryan Day doesn't mess with him. Jim Knowles doesn't really mess with him. So, he's kind of like a made man, godfather-ish type figure, and it makes your life a lot easier as a coach. And then you get James Laurinaitis in there, and you get some of these young bucks in there, and I think it helps. But I'm excited to see JJ Smith, man. I think JJ's going to go crazy up here. I think Ennis is going to go crazy. I think Tate's going to go crazy. Like we got some dudes, man. I'm super excited about him. But yeah, I think when we got I think we got the Michigan guys in here running pretty deep, which is hilarious. But yeah, it feels this is a good time to be a Buckeye, man. I'm telling you that it's a big upswing right now. Big time recruits coming in. Again, we're watching this tape. I've just kind of had it running in the background as I'm running the show. But yeah, I think our D-line's been really impactful, honestly. We were a missed field goal away from winning the national championship, So, we could have easily stopped some guys. I know we've had some guys get banged up, but, when you look at what he's done with JT2, Malowau, Mike Hall, I question Larry Johnson's rotations at times just because, I'm allowed to. I've studied and, the way I evaluate defensive linemen is how hard are they to block? And if you say, okay, you can put certain guys in and leave Mike Hall out and Ty Leak out, I'd rather have those other guys in because they're just easier to block. I think Zach Harrison, who's a great kid, 3rd-round pick, was easy to block, compared to Jack Sawyer and JT2 Malowau. And I think that those guys have higher upsides. And I think that, when John Cage doesn't get drafted, Tron Vincent doesn't get drafted, I would be shocked if Mike Hall and Ty Leak came out and did not get drafted. So that's kind of the bar that I set. So, but yeah, what a great day. Hope you guys are having a great 4th of July. I think we're going to wrap this. We're in for about 30. I got about 500 of you on here. I appreciate you guys on here as always. I hope you guys are having a great 4th of July with your families. I hope you guys are having a blast. Again, if you guys love Ohio State football, BuckeyeScoop.com has got to be your home. We are going crazy. The board is just popping. Getting alerts right now as I'm on my laptop. So, but I appreciate you guys tuning in on Sunday night. I hope you guys are having a great holiday. Happy 4th of July to you and your family. Again, if you love the best Ohio State content, the latest breaking news, Bill Greene put in a huge recruiting blog today. Join BuckeyeScoop.com. Our board is clean. It's fun. It's moderated. It's just such a treat to be a part of it. It's such a great community. We would love for you guys to join us on BuckeyeScoop.com. So in the comments, I want to know, who do you think we finish with? Did we get KJ Bolden? Did we get Brandon Baker? Did we get both? Did we get one? Did we get none? I want to hear what you guys have to say. And also shout out where you guys are from. Appreciate you guys as always tuning in. We love you guys so much. You guys are awesome. Share this link with your friends. Send them our way. We are closing in on 20,000 subscribers on our YouTube. So thank you guys so much for spreading the good word. You guys are the best. So as always, shout out where you're from. Love seeing you guys watching from Japan. You guys watching from England, Canton, Ohio, Naples, Florida, California, Texas, Georgia, Canada. We get you guys all over the place. So we appreciate you guys as always. So thank you so much, Buckeye Nation, and thank you, Scoop family. I'm going to go jump on the boards on BuckeyeScoop.com and go celebrate. If you guys are lighting fireworks off, please light them and get away from them. Do not lose the hand like Jason Pierre-Paul, and enjoy some cold beers and some cocktails, because this is about to be a great run for Ohio State football. So as always, thank you, Buckeye Nation, and thank you, Scoop family. I'll see you on BuckeyeScoop.com. Go Bucks.